Okay, good evening to you all. तपाईहरु सबैलाई स्वागत छ हैन. अब आज हामी we are going to discuss about semantics, pragmatics and discourse analysis. आज हामीले semantics, pragmatics र discourse analysis को बारेमा पढ्न गइरहेका छौं है. So, I think you know what is semantics, what is pragmatics, what is discourse analysis. You might have studied yourself too. First of all, let's discuss about what is semantics. Our semantics भनेको के हो भन्ने कुरा बुझ्नलाई let's see the first point, that is the word semantics was derived from the Greek language sema. The word sema, the Greek word sema, that is noun, and semaino verb that refers to the signify. You can see the word sema, that is the Greek word, and also the semaino, that is verb. Sema is the noun and semaino is the verb that refers to the signify. अब हामीले semantics भन्ने शब्द चाहिँ ग्रीक ल्याङ्ग्वेजको सीमा र सिमाइनो शब्दबाट बनेको हो. That refers to signify. That means that gives some kind of concept or the meaning. त्यसले कुनै न कुनैलाई signify गर्छ, concept दिने गर्छ भन्ने कुरा बुझाउँछ. Very simply, what kind of language you can produce for this? That the word semantics, the English word semantics, was derived or developed from the Greek word sema and semaino. Sema is the noun and semaino is the verb. Sema भनेको noun हो अनि semaino भनेको verb हो, but both words refer to the same meaning, that is called signify. Semantics very simply refers to the study of meaning of language used or produced. Semantics भनेको अरु के पनि होइन. You can just very easily understand. सजिलैसँग बुझ्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Semantics भनेको चाहिँ study of meaning हो. The science of meaning. It studies the meanings of the words. It studies the meanings of the sentences or the utterances that the speaker produces. Speaker ले produce गर्ने चाहे words होस् चाहे sentence होस्, त्यसको meaningलाई चाहिँ के गर्छ यसले अध्ययन गर्ने गर्छ. So if you do not understand the second point, you also can see it also refers to the study of meaning of the words or the sentences produced. So words plus sentence जुन हामीले produce गर्ने गर्छौं त्यसको meaning, what does it convey, what kind of meaning does it provide, हैन, त्यसको बारेमा चाहिँ स्टडी गर्ने गर्छ. semantics भनेको त्यस्तो हो. It is the study of relationship between signs and symbols that represent something. So we also can define it as the relationship between signs and symbols that represent the meaning. Signs and symbols refers to the sounds, the words that are used in language. Language मा भएका जुन साउन्ड्सहरु छन्, साउन्ड्सलाई सिस्टमेटिकली अरेन्ज गरेर चाहिँ वर्ड्स बन्ने गर्छ, हैन, त्यसको मिनिङ प्रोवाइड गर्ने काम गर्छ. रिलेसनशिपको चाहिँ स्टडी गर्ने गर्छ. And we can get some kind of concept of the meaning. That's why semantics, as I have understood, semantics very simply refers to the study of the meaning study of the meaning of the words or the sentences that we produce. हामीले produce गर्ने, maybe in the written form, maybe in the spoken forms. दुवैमा हुन सक्छ. spoken मा पनि अनि तपाईको चाहिँ written form मा पनि हुन सक्छ. त्यसरी शब्दहरुको, वाक्यहरुको अथवा साइन्स एन्ड सिम्बल्सहरुको चाहिँ मिनिङलाई स्टडी गर्ने काम चाहिँ केले गर्छ, semanticsले गर्ने गर्छ. You need to understand. Okay, now let's see the definitions of the semantics given by some linguists. अब लिंग्विस्टले दिएको चाहिँ definitions हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Lyons 1981 says that semantics is the study of meaning, i.e. that is of what is covered by the word meaning. त्यो वर्डले चाहिँ के कभर गरेको छ, हैन, त्यसको अर्थ दिने काम गर्छ यसले, semanticsले. Study of the meaning of the words that is given by Lyons 1981. It's also defined as the study of meaning in human language as of 2001, as of Nepali linguist. Okay, Nepali linguist as of 2001 मा human language को चाहिँ meaning को study गर्ने science, that is called semantics one. So you need to directly understand that semantics is the study of the meaning. Study of the meaning that is given by the words or the sentences that we produce. Maybe the phrases, maybe the clauses, signs and symbols. It studies how meanings are expressed and understood. यसले meanings कसरी express गर्छ र कसरी बुझिन्छ भन्ने बारेमा पनि it studies. Okay, you also need to understand. And in conclusion, about the definitions of the semantics, we also can clearly say that semantics is the study of meaning, usually of individual words and sentences too, isn't it? Semantics sometimes studies the meanings of the words in isolations, and semantics sometimes studies the meanings of the words that are connected in a sentence. सेन्टेन्समा कनेक्सन भएको पनि हुन्छ अनि इन्डिभिजुअल्स पनि यसमा रहेको हुन्छ। तिनीहरूले इन्डिभिजुअल वर्ड्स एन्ड सेन्टेन्सको चाहिँ मिनिङ चाहिँ के गर्छ त स्टडी गर्ने काम गर्छ। द्याट्स वाइ इट इज कल्ड सेमान्टिक्स भन्। यसरी कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो है। नाउ लेट्स डिस्कस अबाउट द एस्पेक्ट्स अफ मिनिङ। अब सर एस्पेक्ट्स अफ मिनिङ भनेको के हो त नि? व्हाट आर द एस्पेक्ट्स अफ द मिनिङ? मिनिङका एस्पेक्ट्सहरू कति प्रकारका हुन्छन् हैन? व्हाट काइन्ड अफ टाइप्स अफ मिनिङ दैट वी क्यान गेट? कस्तो किसिमको चाहिँ मिनिङ्सहरू हामीले पाउँछौँ त भन्दाखेरि कन्सेप्चुअल मिनिङ, one is that is called denotative meaning, and also we find the next one that is associative meaning. Just हामीले के भन्छौँ associative meaning, that is called connotative meaning. Is it? So in regarding the aspects of the meaning, you need not to forget that there are two aspects of meaning, that is conceptual meaning, denotative meaning, and the associative meaning. But you may not have the idea of what is conceptual meaning and what is associative meaning. कस्तो किसिमको मिनिङलाई हामीले conceptual meaning भन्ने, कस्तोलाई चाहिँ associative meaning भन्ने बारेमा बुझ्नु पर्यो है। Okay, now let's see what is called conceptual meaning. अब कस्तो किसिमको मिनिङलाई हामीले conceptual meaning भन्ने गर्छौँ त? So conceptual meaning is the literal meaning that a word refers to. A literal meaning, the very simple meaning that is given by the dictionary itself. Dictionary ले दिने जुन meaning हुन्छ, जुन सतही हैन, that is called literal meaning जुन हुन्छ, त्यस्तै किसिमको meaning लाई we say conceptual meaning. For example, when you say cat, 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 you easily understand that the meaning of the cat is as what is the four-footed domestic pet animal. Four-footed domestic pet animal that does meow गर्छ नि हो, त्यस्तै किसिमको चाहिँ शब्दको अर्थ आउने गर्छ conceptual meaning. So when we just say conceptual meaning, you need to keep the things in mind that literal meaning, that is satahi meaning, that means word meaning, is also called as the denotative meaning. हामीले के पनि भन्छौँ? Denotative meaning पनि भन्छौँ. The denotative meaning is the dictionary meaning. I have already told you that the denotative meaning, conceptual meaning, they are similar, and the meaning of the conceptual or the denotative meaning directly belong to the dictionary meaning. What meaning that is given in the dictionary, this is what called as the conceptual meaning. It is also known as the direct meaning. So literal meaning and the direct meaning are the similar one. So if we get the direct meaning of a word, at that time it is called as the conceptual meaning or the direct meaning or the denotative meaning or the dictionary meaning. Okay, so it is the primary meaning. So the actual meaning, the dictionary meaning of the word is called as the primary meaning. And when we relate the meanings to other contexts, at that times it cannot be the conceptual meaning. Okay, you need to understand this. Are you getting me? Are you getting me, please? Yes, sir. Okay. And next one, let's see. It shows the relationship of a linguistic unit. Relationship of linguistic unit, that is called word, and the non-linguistic entities. You understand? यसले त के को मिनिङ अध्ययन, कस्तो किसिमको मिनिङको अध्ययन गर्छ त भन्दाखेरि linguistic word, that means linguistic unit, word for example, and its meaning, that is non-linguistic entities. Non-linguistic entities र linguistic entity को बीचको relationship देखाउने गर्छ. For example, DOG, dog, is the linguistic unit. Linguistic unit हो. But what the meaning it conveys, that is called the non-linguistic entities. त्यसलाई हामीले के भन्छौँ त? Non-linguistic entity भन्ने गर्छौँ. DOG, dog को language को शब्द हो त, तर त्यो जुन कुकुर छ नि, त्यो कुकुर त linguistic entity त होइन नि, त्यो त non-linguistic entity हो. त्यो त नेचरमा पाइने एउटा काइन्ड अफ एनिमल हो हैन अथवा चाहिँ डोमेस्टिक पेट एनिमल हो त्यो हुनाले यसको सब यस्तो किसिमको रिलेसनशिपको अध्ययन गर्ने गर्छ लिङ्ग्विस्टिक युनिट एन्ड द नन लिङ्ग्विस्टिक युनिटको बीचको रिलेसनशिपको अध्ययन देखाउने गर्छ रिलेसनशिप देखाउने गर्छ द्याट इज कल्ड द कन्सेप्चुअल मिनिङ Dog is a linguistic unit that gives the meaning of domestic pet animal that has 4 legs and backs. I have given very beautifully here. You can see domestic pet animal that has 4 legs and the backs. This is the linguistic unit that is providing the meaning of the animal that we keep in the house as a pet animal, which has 4 legs and that backs. जसको खुट्टा चारवटा हुन्छन् जो भोग्ने गर्छ जसलाई हामीले सोखको लागि पालेका हुन्छौँ त्यसलाई बताउने गर्छ त्यस्तै किसिमको अर्थलाई हामीले कन्सेप्चुअल मिनिङ भन्ने गर्छौँ हियर द मिनिङ अफ द वर्ड डग इज नट रिलेटेड टु द अदर कन्सेप्ट्स यहाँ डग अरू कन्सेप्टसँग छैन इट हैज one to one meaning only one meaning it has given so conceptual in the conceptual meaning we have only one meaning word to word that means one to one meaning that we can find so conceptual meaning is regarded as the central or the core meaning of a linguistic item so why we say that it has the central and the core meaning because the meaning of this entity linguistic unit that is given in the dictionary डिक्सनरीमा दिएको हुन्छ यसको अर्थ जुन हामीले सजिलै पाउँछौँ त्यसलाई हामीले कन्सेप्चुअल मिनिङ भन्ने गर्छौँ जसलाई हामीले डिक्सनरी मिनिङ भन्ने गर्छौँ जसलाई हामीले लिटरल मिनिङ भन्ने गर्छौँ त्यो कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो र अझै नै बुझ्नु भएको छैन भने कन्सेप्चुअल मिनिङ भनेको एउटा शब्दको अर्थ जुन डाइरेक्ट रूपमा चाहिँ आउने गर्छ जुन डिक्सनरीमा बताइएको हुन्छ त्यसलाई हामीले कन्सेप्चुअल मिनिङ भन्ने गर्छौँ त्यति कुरा बुझ्नु होला नाउ लेट्स गो टु एसोसिएटिभ मिनिङ व्हाट इज कल्ड एसोसिएटिभ मिनिङ देन exactly opposite meaning of the denotative meaning conceptual meaning or what hence associative meaning is also called as the connotative meaning as the conceptual meaning denotative जसरी हामीले conceptual meaning denotative भनेका थियौं त्यस्तै गरी associative meaning को चाहिँ अर्को शब्दमा we also can say the connotative meaning the associative meaning does not provide the dictionary meaning the main point you need to remember here the associative meaning, the word associative is speaking itself. Associate, association, connections with others, isn't it? So it provides the additional meaning, literal meaning, direct meaning that belongs to the conceptual meaning and additional meaning that belongs to associative meaning, depending on the context. So associative meaning always depends on the context. In this context, we are exposed to. So it is also known as the contextual meaning. It is the secondary meaning. So denotative meaning is called primary meaning. Associative meaning is called as the secondary meaning. Why? Because the meaning of the word, if we just describe the meaning of the word depending on the context, that is called secondary meaning. That is called associative meaning. It gives the additional features. Thap features additional meaning. For example, it is raining cats and dogs. It is raining cats and dogs when somebody produces this kind of utterances, okay? And we need to understand that. What should we understand? It's raining cats and dogs means कुकुर बिरालुहरूको पानी परिरहेको छ भन्ने हो कि हैन के भनेर त भन्दाखेरि when we just relate connect this utterance in the context at that time we need to understand that it has the meaning of it's raining heavily एकदमै ठुलो पानी परिरहेको छ heavy raining is there भन्ने कुरा बुझिन्छ हैन that's why the cats and dogs को अर्थ यहाँ चाहिँ बिरालुहरू र कुकुरहरू पानी परिरहेको छ भन्ने हुँदैन contextually यसको meaning के आउँछ त heavy raining भन्ने हुन्छ that's why today on what also you need to understand that the meaning of a word only that there is no only one meaning of a word word को चाहिँ एउटा मात्र meaning हुँदैन we can find the various meanings but they depend on the context where we are and speaking or writing about okay this is बुझ्नु पर्यो so in the above sentence you can see there are two major words cats and dogs but these words do not refer to the meaning of real cats and dogs so the meaning of the cats and dogs is not related with the real animals real full-footed domestic pet animals. It has not provided the meaning. It has provided the meaning that is depending on the context, that is raining heavily. होइन ठुलो पानी परिरहेको छ वर्षा भइरहेको छ you need to understand. Okay, so you have understood this one. I think they give the meaning of a heavy raining. I have told you that. Similarly, the conceptual meaning of child is very young man being, young human being, but it is associative meaning can be a lovable, noisy, playful, amusing, and many other sense. That when we just discuss about the difference between the conceptual meaning and associative meaning regarding a word that is called child, चाइल्डलाई चाहिँ एउटा शब्दलाई चाहिँ हामीले एक्जाम्पलको रूपमा लगेर कन्सेप्चुअल र अनि एसोसिएटिभ मिनिङकोसँग जोड्यौँ भने when we relate the meaning of child with the conceptual meaning, that time we only find the meaning of it as young human being भन्ने बुझिन्छ. But when we relate the same word with the other, that means associative meaning, we can find the various meanings that is called lovable, noisy, playful, amusing, and many others we can find. Okay, so I think you all are clear about what is conceptual meaning and what is associative meaning. Okay, I have given the examples and described about this one too. Okay, now let's discuss about the next topic, that is sense relations. Sense relations is also belongs to semantics. यो पनि semantics सम्बन्धी कुरा नै छ. We discuss about, we deal with the meanings. यो पनि meaning सँगै कुरा रहेको छ है. Now let's see what is sense relations. I think you understand what is sense. Sense refers to concept, the meaning, the relations, the relations of each other, connections of the senses. The relations of a word with another word is called as the sense relations. How beautifully the point is given here. Okay, the relationship of a word with another word is called sense relations. एउटा शब्दको सम्बन्ध अर्को शब्दसँग जाँदा कस्तो भएर जान्छ त हैन, whether it has the very positive relationship or the opposite relationship, यसको चाहिँ अपोजिट हुन्छ कि हैन अथवा चाहिँ सिनोनिममा जान्छ त, त्यसको बारेमा मिनिङको शब्दहरूको रिलेसनको कुरा गर्छ भने this is called sense relations. In other words, not clearly understood. In other words, the relations of meaning of a word with the meaning of another word is simply called sense relations. The relation of a meaning of a word, एउटा शब्दले दिने मिनिङको सम्बन्ध अर्को शब्दको मिनिङसँग चाहिँ जोडिएर हामीले रिलेसनशिपको स्टडी गर्छौं भने this is what called the sense relations. एउटा शब्दको अर्थ र अर्को शब्दको अर्थको बीचको सहसम्बन्ध हामीले पत्ता लगाउँछौं, खोजी गर्छौं भने त्यो sense relationship हुन्छ. So it means that the meaning of a linguistic item. अब हामीले चाहिँ एउटा कुरा के बुझ्नु पर्छ भने you are the students of linguistics, isn't it? So here we are referring linguistic item to the words that we use in a language. Language मा प्रयोग गर्ने जुन भाषा शब्दहरू हुन्छन् ती शब्दहरूलाई हामीले के भन्छौं त भन्दाखेरि linguistic item भन्ने गर्छौं. So today onward you need not to worry about what is linguistic item. Linguistic item refers to the words, the phrases, maybe. Okay, maybe sometimes sentence too. त्यसरी कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो हैन. For example, if we try to give the meaning of the word wealthy, wealthy को meaning तपाईं दिदै हुनुहुन्छ भने at the time we can use another word rich. So here we can find the two words, that is wealthy and rich. Okay, wealthy and rich are the two different linguistic units, linguistic words or linguistic items, and when we see the relationship of their of them indicating their meaning, okay, what kind of relationship we find? So wealthy is also a rich one, having all kind of what is conditions fulfilled, requirements fulfilled. Rich also refer to the same one, isn't it? So they also have some kind of relationship. है त्यसरी कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो. What kind of relationship is there? अब कस्तो खालको हो त यो? पोजिटिभ सरी के रे एन्टोनिम हो कि सिनोनिम हो त नि, हैन? त्यसै जान्नु पर्यो हामी है. Okay, so when we talk about the relationship of wealthy and rich, they give the similar meaning. They give the similar meaning. That's why they are the synonymous. They are the synonymous words or the items. Okay. Now let's discuss about the types of sense relations. अब हामी जान्छौं sense relations को types हरूमा you can see synonymy, antonymy, eponymy. We also can say hyponymy, homophony and homography, homonymy and polygyny, metonymy and collocations. We can find these 6 types of sense relations we can find. So you know that sense relation refers to the relationship of a word with other word, the meaning of a word with the meaning of the other word. This is what called the sense relation. Now, what do you understand by synonymy then? Let's discuss about the first one. Synonymy, the term synonymy simply refers to the sameness in meaning between 2 or more words. If we find the sameness in the meaning, if the words give the same kind of meaning, that is called as the synonymy, the process, the act of providing the same meaning in the same context, maybe in the different kinds of context, maybe, but they are the synonyms, but because they are same in their meaning. Okay, so for the synonymy or the sense relations, you need not to forget that what you need not to forget that there should be 2 words. There must be 2 words. There must be the sense relations between 2 words. दुईटा शब्द बिना त्यहाँ कुनै पनि किसिमको सेन्स रिलेसन कुरा आउँदैन. We cannot relate the sense relations with the word in itself. आफैमा एउटा word आइसोलेसनमा sense relation हुन सक्दैन. We need to have at least 2 words and we need to relate the meaning of these 2 words each other. So synonymy भनेको थियो sameness in the meaning. ती शब्दहरू जसले उस्तै अर्थ दिन्छन् त्यसलाई हामीले synonymy भन्ने गर्छौं. So synonymy is the process of having the same or the similar meaning to each other. Under synonymy, we need to discuss about the synonyms. Synonymy is a process and synonyms are the terms, are the units, are the words, isn't it? What is synonymy? What is synonyms? Synonym is a process and synonyms are the words that go into the process. So what are the synonyms then? The words which have the same or the similar meaning to each other are simply called as the what is synonyms. ती दुईटा शब्दहरू जसको मिनिङ चाहिँ एक आपसमा सिमिलर छन् भने त्यसलाई हामीले के भन्छौं त भन्दाखेरि synonyms भन्ने गर्छौं. The synonyms might have exactly the same, approximately the same meaning. It depends on the context. What kind of context is there? त्यहाँ कस्तो किसिमको कन्टेक्स्ट छ त्यो कन्टेक्स्टले भर पार्ने गर्छ. Whether the synonyms have the exactly same meaning or the approximately अलि नजिक नजिक खालको meaning के छ त? It depends on the context. In what context we are using these words? Okay, we need to understand. Okay, this is why. According to Todd, let's see the definitions given by the scholars. 1987. Synonymy is the relationship in which 2 or more words are in pre-variations in all or most contexts. Synonymy. In pre-variations, we can use in either context. सबै किसिमको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ प्रयोग गर्ने खालकोलाई सिनोनिमी भनिन्छ. दुईटा वर्ड्सहरुको बीचको सम्बन्ध भन्ने है. Atkinson 1978 said that lexical items can be regarded as synonyms. So you also need to remember linguistic units, words, lexical items. So these all are similar terms. You need to understand this way. Okay, don't worry about this. Can be regarded as synonyms if they can be interchanged without altering the meaning of an utterance. तपाईले प्रोड्युस गरेको अटरेन्सको मिनिङमा कुनै पनि फरक नपर्ने गरी शब्दहरूलाई इन्टरचेन्ज गर्न सक्छौं भने त्यसलाई रिप्लेस गरेर अर्को वर्ड राख्दा पनि सेम मिनिङ रिटेन हुन्छ भने हैन, दिस इज व्हाट कॉल्ड एज द सिनोनिमी. त्यसलाई हामीले सिनोनिम भन्ने गर्छौं. र त्यो सिनोनिमीको प्रोसेसमा आउने शब्दहरूलाई सिनोनिम्स भन्ने गर्छौं अथवा चाहिँ लेक्सिकल आइटम्स भन्न सक्छौं अथवा वर्ड्सहरु भन्न सक्छौं. Okay, so this is about the definition given by Todd and Atkinson. Okay, now let's go to next, that is types of synonymy. We are still discussing about the synonymy. Hey, we also can find 5 types of synonymy, that is First one is absolute synonymy and the partial synonymy, descriptive or the cognitive synonymy, stylistic synonymy, dialectical synonymy, interlingual and the interlingual synonymy. You see, you may be asked in the examination. Discuss the types of the synonymy. Synonymy को types को बारेमा छलफल गर्नुस्. Define synonym and discuss its types भन्यो भने तपाईले लेख्ने यो absolute, partial, descriptive, cognitive, stylistic, dialectical, interlingual and interlingual synonymy. Okay, यसरी कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो है. Okay, now let's go to the first type of synonymy, that is absolute synonymy and the partial synonymy. What is absolute synonymy and partial synonymy? If the two or more words are exactly the same in meaning, it is called absolute synonymy. If the words exactly can give the same meaning, they are called as the absolute synonym. यदि दुईटा शब्दहरुले ठ्याक्कै उस्तै सेम अर्थ दिन्छन् भने त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामीले एब्सोल्युट भन्ने गर्छौं. In other words, if you do not understand the first point, that's the next one. If two or more words can be used in all kinds of situations and context without altering the meaning, सबै किसिमको कन्टेक्स्टमा परिवेशमा ती शब्दहरु जहाँ चाहिँ कुनै पनि मिनिङमा परिवर्तन नभइकन प्रयोगमा आउँछन् भने they are called absolute synonym. The word absolute is speaking itself. आफै बोलिरहेको छ. More clearly, if two words replace or substitute each other, एउटा शब्दको ठाउँमा अर्को शब्दले मजाले सब्स्टिट्युट गर्न सक्छ, प्रयोग गर्न सक्छ हैन. In all and every situation or context, they are called as the absolute synonym. But it's impossible to get such absolute synonyms in English language. English language मा यस्तो किसिमको ठ्याक्कै every context मा situation मा चाहिँ replace गर्न मिल्ने, interchange गर्न सकिने, substitute गर्न सकिने शब्दहरु पाइँदैन, छैन. For example, I boy, I tall, I boy, I tall, maybe tall, but tall, mountain, अनि I mountain. ल हेर्नुस् त के भन्यो भन्नुस् त. I boy हुन्छ कि tall boy हुन्छ त? Tall mountain हुन्छ कि I mountain हुन्छ त? ल भन्नुस् त. I boy हुन्छ तर के हुँदैन, सरी I mountain हुन्छ हैन, अनि tall boy हुन्छ तर हामीले के भन्न सक्दैनौ? ल भन्नुस् त. के भन्न सक्दैनौ हामी?
I boy and tall mountain भन्दिनु सर.
Good. I boy र त्यसपछि tall mountain भन्न सक्दैनौ. We cannot use this one. So that's why in English language we cannot find absolute synonym. तपाईलाई मैले यहाँ बुझ्न खोजेको यहाँ हाई बोय टल हैन, यसमा चाहिँ यो चाहिँ यस्तै खालको बन्छ. यहाँ स्टार हाल्नु पर्छ हामीले. Okay, and then you will understand. यो भनेको नमिल्ने भनेको. यहाँ चाहिँ टल छ हैन, यो मिल्दैन. तर के मिल्छ? टल बोय मिल्छ अनि हाई माउन्टेन मिल्छ. यसरी कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो. अथवा मैले फाल्दिन पनि त सजिलो होला हैन, यसरी फाल्दिन्छु. टल बोय ठीक छ अनि हाई माउन्टेन यसरी प्रयोग गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. You can see here. यसरी प्रयोग गरिदिनुस् न. अहिले मैले पढाउँदा पो उहाँले तपाईले बुझ्नुहुन्छ हैन. अहिले साथीहरुले त नबुझ्न सक्नुहुन्छ नि यो हैन. That's why here I mountain.
यसो त्यो मिस्टेक नि राखेको भए यस्तोमा यस्तो हुन्छ भनेर बुझ्नु हुन्थ्यो नि सर.
के भन्नुभयो भन्दा
त्यो मिस्टेकले नि के सर राखेको भए ठिक हुन्थ्यो नि. यो यस्तो हुन्छ यस्तो हुँदैन भनेर बुझ्न अलि सजिलो.
मैले यहाँ राखिदिन्छु. Not I boy हो यसरी राखिदिने. ठीक छ हैन. हाई माउन्टेन, not के बोल्नु त बोल्नुस् फरक पर्दैन ठिक छ हैन ओके अब यति भएपछि तपाईलाई यो चाहिएन तलको हैन you can see can I dare to okay so this is the case absolute synonymy we cannot find it can be tall boy but it cannot be high boy it can be high mountain but it cannot be tall mountain so we cannot use these tall and high items of the lexical words to refer the same meaning in the same context of all the context. सबै किसिमको कन्टेक्स्टमा यो हामीले प्रयोग गर्न सक्दैनौँ. So absolute synonymy can be found in two different dialects, not within a dialect. हेर्नुस् है अब एउटा कुरा तपाईले बुझ्नु पर्यो नि त के कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो थाहा छ भन्दाखेरि absolute synonymy can be found in the different dialects, not within a single dialect. एउटै डायलेक्ट भित्र त्यो पाउन सक्दैनौ तर छुट्टै भाषिकाहरूको बीचमा पाइन्छ डायलेक्ट्सहरूको बीचमा पाइन्छ जस्तै ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश अमेरिकन इंग्लिशमा पाउन सक्छौं but we cannot find this in the same dialect that is British English and the American English in isolation भित्र पाइदैन तर दुईटा फरक किसिमको डायलेक्ट्स we can find त्यो पाउन सक्छौं त्यो कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो for example British English American English okay autumn fall same meaning we can use in all contexts pavement sidewalk it refers to same meaning in the same context in all kinds of context we can okay so we can find the absolute synonymy in the dialects in the different dialects of the same language British English American English English language American language and British language English language we can find absolute synonym but we can find the absolute synonym in the same dialect okay so partial synonym on the other hand we are going to discuss about the next one partial synonym on the other hand is the relations of two or more words that do not have exactly the same meaning and cannot be used in all and every context त्यस्तै किसिमका शब्दहरू जसले मिनिङ त सेम दिन खोज्छन् तर सबै कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ प्रयोग हुन सक्दैनन् इन्टरचेन्जेबल गर्न सकिँदैन भने दे आर कल्ड एज द पार्शियल सिनोनिम कुनै कुनै केसमा मात्र प्रयोग गर्न सकिन्छ वी क्यान नट युज देम इन इच एन्ड एभ्री कन्टेक्स्ट सबै कन्टेक्स्टमा प्रयोग गर्न सकिँदैन हैन इफ वी क्यान नट रिलेट द मिनिङ अफ दिस वर्ड्स इन एभ्री कन्टेक्स्ट दे आर कल्ड partial synonym. In other words, if we have not understood, let's see, if two words can't substitute each other in certain context without bringing any change in meaning, they are called as the partial synonyms. Okay. For example, tall boy, not tall building. We can say tall boy, but we cannot say tall building, isn't it? High building, we can say, but not tall building. So in this way, the word tall and high can be used in each and every context situation. They are used in a particular context. Certain context matra प्रयोग हुन्छन् भने they are referring to the partial synonym, the partial synonyms. So tall and high are not the absolute synonyms. They are the partial synonyms. Why? Because they cannot be used in each and every context where we want to use. Okay, this is about. So this is the partial synonym. Now let's go to descriptive or cognitive synonymy. The descriptive synonymy is also called as the referential synonymy. Referential synonymy. Okay, descriptive synonymy is also called as the cognitive synonym and also called as the referential synonym. In the descriptive synonymy, we find such words which are synonymous, but they do not have same social meaning. So here you need to focus on the social meaning. Descriptive meaning, here belongs to the social meaning. If it does not have the same social meaning, okay, that time they are called the descriptive synonym. For example, in English, the words like father, dad, daddy, isn't it? These are the words. They refer to the same person, Baba ne ho. But we cannot use these all words in all kinds of social context. सबै किसिमको परिवेशमा कन्टेक्स्टमा हामीले प्रयोग गर्न सक्दैनौँ. Father is the formal word, dad and daddy are the informal word, and we can use the formal. That means we can use the word father in the formal social context, but we cannot use dad and daddy in the formal social context. We can use in the informal context situations like, okay, this is what called, etc. And the words like laboratory, toilet, loo, WC, these all words are referring to the same place where we do this kind of activity like excretion गर्ने काम गर्छौँ. ल्याबोरेटरीमा, टोयलेटमा, लूमा, WC जे भने पनि एउटै हुन्, but they can be used in the same social context. सबै कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ यो प्रयोग गर्न सकिँदैन. सोशल कन्टेक्स्टमा सोसियली फरक हुन सक्छ. के यसलाई हामीले के भन्छौँ त, डिस्क्रिप्टिभ अथवा कग्निटिभ सिनोनिम भन्ने गर्छौँ. So don't forget social meaning there. Now let's go to the stylistic synonymy. Stylistic synonymy refers to the words that are used in different styles having the same sense or meaning. Styles कुरा आउँछ यसमा. Stylistic synonymy belongs to the styles of having the same sense or the meaning. If we use the different words to refer to the same thing in the different contexts or situation, they are called the stylistic synonyms. And the same. If you do not understand this one, let's see the next one. It is the use of the words in formal and informal situations. In the above types, we discussed about the social meaning, but here basically we focus on the situation, formal and the informal situation. Die, pass over. Smell, order. Get, achieve. Position, job. ऊ मर्यो भन्ने शब्दको अर्थ डाई हुन्छ भने उहाँको चाहिँ स्वर्गवास भयो भन्ने अर्थको चाहिँ पास ओभर हुन्छ. कति फरक छ त्यसको मिनिङ. त मर्यो, डाई भयो, पास ओभर भयो, उहाँको स्वर्गवास भयो, त्यस्तो अर्थ आउँछ. फर्मल इन्फर्मल सिचुएसनमा चाहिँ त्यही घटना हो, डेथ नै हो, बट डाई रिफर्स टु भेरी इन्फर्मल थिङ. एकदमै इन्फर्मल्ली हल्का तरिकाले लिन्छ, तर पास ओभरले एकदमै गम्भीर तरिकाले लिन्छ. You can find this one in smell to, order to, get to, achieve to, position to, job. Okay, so this is why stylistic synonymy belongs to the different styles of using in the different contexts or situations. This is called stylistic synonymy. Now let's go to the next one. Dialectical synonymy. Dialectical synonymy refers to the use of the words from the two different dialects. You see the word dialect there, from dialect to dialectical. So if there is the dialectical synonymy, there should be the two different dialects of the same language. एउटा भाषाको दुईटा भाषिका हुनुपर्छ र ती दुईटा भाषिकाबाट आएका शब्दहरूको अर्थ उस्तै हुनुपर्छ. That is called dialectical synonymy. If we use the words having the same meaning from the two different dialects from the same language, एउटै भाषाका दुईटा different dialectsहरूबाट शब्दहरू तानेर ल्याउँदाखेरि, if they give the same meaning, this is what called dialectical synonymy. They are called as the dialectical synonym. For example, British English, American English. British English is one dialect and American English is another dialect. But you see, when you see the words autumn and fall, they refer to the same meaning. Pavement and sidewalk, same meaning. Paraffin or kerosene, same meaning. Petrol and gas, same meaning. But these words are from the different dialects of same language. Okay, so this is how, if the words come from the different dialects of the same language and refer to the same concept or meaning or sense, this is what called as the dialectical synonymy, and the words are called dialectical synonyms. अब तपाईले यसमा राम्रोसँग कुरा बुझ्नुहुन्छ है. Intralingual and the interlingual synonymy. What do you mean by this one? कस्तो खालको हो त intralingual and interlingual synonymy? You need to understand what is intra and what is inter. The difference between intra and inter. Intra भनेको के हो, inter भनेको के हो, त्यो कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो. Synonymy belonging to the same language is called intra. एउटै ल्याङ्ग्वेज भित्रको छ भने intra हुन्छ. I have told you, focusing गरिरहेको छु मैले, intra हुन्छ भनेको छु हैन. That is called interlingual. If the words coming from the same language refer to the same meaning or concept, that is called interlingual synonymy. The words which come from the same language and refer to the same meaning are called interlingual synonyms. The act of giving the same meaning, that is called synonymy. The process is synonymy. The words are synonyms. For example, high, tall. Buy, purchase. Beautiful, pretty. These all words are from the same language, not from the other language. High, English word. Tall, also English word. Buy, English word. Purchase, also English word. So they refer the same meaning too, and they are from the same language too. That's why they are called as the interlingual synonym. In this way, you need to understand. Now let's go to the next one. Interlingual synonymy. Interlingual synonymy, on the other hand, refers to those words which come from the different languages. You see, different languages here you can see. Different language, not the same language. Okay? And give the same meaning. The words coming from the two different languages and give the same meaning. That is what called as the interlingual synonym, the process. And the words which come from the different languages and give the same meaning, relate to each other in the same context. This is what called, the words are called interlingual synonyms. So synonymy belonging to different language is called interlingual synonymy, isn't it? So to put it very clearly, if you do not understand, let's see the next definition, concept. Words from the different languages having the same meaning are called as the interlingual synonyms. तपाईले मैले अब यहाँ कति कुरा बुझाउने हैन. Words from the different languages, different language dialects होइन यसमा. We are not discussing about the dialects, we are discussing about the language having the same meaning, called interlingual synonyms. For example, rat, dog. हेर्नुस् है यहाँनिर यो के भयो, इंग्लिशको इंग्लिशमै आयो, छुट्टै छुट्टै छन् त्यहाँनिर. ऱ्याट, डग. अनि ऱ्याटको चाहिँ नेपालीमा के भयो, मुसो भयो. अनि डगको के भयो, कुकुर भयो, नेपालीमा भयो. मुसो कुकुर नेपाली, ऱ्याट डग इंग्लिश, अनि चुहा कुत्ता हिन्दी, डट हुन्ट जर्मन भनेपछि तपाईले कुरा के बुझ्नु पर्यो भने ऱ्याट भन्ने शब्दले पनि नेपाली भाषामा मुसो एउटै तपाईको चाहिँ कन्सेप्ट दिइरहेको छ. ऱ्याट भन्दाखेरि हाम्रो दिमागमा मुसो भन्ने आउँछ. डग refer to the same domestic pet animal that barks, that we say कुकुर इन नेपाली. तिनीहरुले यसरी हामीले शब्दको मिनिङलाई रिलेट गर्न सक्छौं. ऱ्याट भनेको मुसो, डग भनेको कुकुर भन्दा हामीले सरलले पाउँछ नि. हामीलाई कसरी पढाइयो मिनिङ भन्दाखेरि इन्टरलिङ्गुअलको माध्यमबाट, ट्रान्सलेसनको माध्यमबाट पढाइयो. तिनीहरुले ऱ्याट र मुसो, डग र कुकुर हैन, यी चाहिँ के भयो त फरक भाषाका शब्दहरू हुन् तर एउटै एनिमललाई जनाएको छ. त्यसै कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो है. Now, antonymy. The term antonymy, synonym को उल्टो ठ्याक्कै antonymy हो नि त. The term antonymy refers to opposite in meaning, oppositeness in meaning. Antonymy very simply refers to the process of having the opposite meaning between two words. Isn't it? दुईटा शब्दहरुको बीचको मिनिङ चाहिँ के छ त ठ्याक्कै अपोजिट छ भने that is called antonymy. So the words which have the opposite meaning or sense relation to each other are called antonyms. For example, big, small, big ठुलो छ, small सानो छ. Beautiful, sundar, ugly, cool. White, black, buy, sell. So these all words have the opposite meaning. That's why this process is called as the antonymy. Okay, you need to understand the words which do not have the same meaning, the words which have the exactly opposite meaning to each other, they are simply called as the antonymy. And the words that give the meaning, opposite meaning, they are called antonyms, and the process is called antonymy. I have told you frequently. Types of antonyms. There are mainly three types of antonymy, which are as follows: gradable antonymy, complementarity, and converseness. Remember, antonyms, types of antonyms. We are discussing here now: gradable antonymy and complementarity and converseness. So what is that? You see. Okay. Gradable antonymy. The gradable antonymy is simply defined as the words which have their opposite meaning in the degree. Meaning मा चाहिँ तपाईको चाहिँ degree मा आएर oppositeness देखाउँछ भने degree का. So you must remember the word degree. Opposite meaning in the degree मा. Degree भनेको master degree, bachelor degree भनेको होइन. Degree भनेको ratio हुन्छ नि त्यसलाई भनेको. So it refers to the degree forms of adjectives. Degree forms of adjectives. Adjective बाट चाहिँ यसको gradable कुराहरु आउँछ. And adverbs को माध्यमबाट आउँछ. We can find the gradable antonyms of adjectives and the adverbs. Or adjectives and adverbs can show the relationship of the gradable antonymy, oppositeness. For example, big, small, good, bad, tall, short, young, old. Now let's discuss. ल भन्नुस् त big को कुनै एउटा क्राइटेरिया छ त, मेजरमेन्ट छ, यति भएपछि ठुलो भन्ने, यति भएपछि सानो भन्ने छ त? छैन. तपाईसँग एउटा चीज छ, अर्को चीज आयो, सेम त्यस्तै खालको चीज आयो, तर त्यो भन्दा अलि ठुलो आइदियो. अब अघि त्यही ठीक थियो, अघि ठुलो आइदिएपछि त्यो बिग भयो, तपाईसँग पहिला भएको स्मल भयो. पछि फेरि तपाईको के आइयो त? त्यो भन्दा अर्को झन् ठुलो साइजको आइदियो. अनि त्यो के भयो त? त्यो बिग भयो. भनेपछि डिग्री आउँदो रहेछ नि त. त्यसले we cannot have such kind of measurement of fixing the size that is called big, that is called small. त्यो त एउटा डिग्रीले देखाउने गर्छ हैन. त्यसै कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो. अब जस्तै मानिस कि दिवस चाहिँ अग्लो छ, तर दिवस भन्दा अझ बढी अग्लो मान्छे आइदियो भने त दिवस त होचै त भएको रे. कसको तुलनामा? त्यो अग्लो मान्छेको तुलनामा. फेरि दिवस भन्दा सानो अर्को साथी आइदियो भने त दिवस त अग्लै भयो त. त्यो डिग्रीमा जान्छ. गुड. अब यहाँ चाहिँ नेहा चाहिँ गुड स्टुडेन्ट हो भनेर भन्दै गर्ने क्रममा हैन, अर्को स्टुडेन्ट चाहिँ ब्याड हो भन्दै गर्ने क्रममा गुड र ब्याडको पनि त्यही अवस्था बन्छ. कतिलाई गुड भन्ने, कतिलाई ब्याड भन्ने. के भयो भने गुड भन्ने, के भयो भने ब्याड भन्ने डिग्री हुन्छ. टल सर्ट, यङ ओल्ड. कति वर्षलाई ओल्ड भन्ने? 90 कटेकोलाई कि 20 कटेकोलाई? कतिकोलाई यङ भन्ने. सो डिग्रीमा भर पर्छ यसको मिनिङ. ओके, that is called gradable antonymy. Complementarity. Complementarity is the relation of opposite अपोजिट इन पेयर्स अफ वर्ड्स। अब यहाँ हेर्नुहोस् है, पेयर अफ वर्ड्स भनेको शब्दहरू जोडिएर आउने गर्छ। त्यस्तो खालको जोडेर आउने शब्दहरू पेयर अफ वर्ड्सको बिचमा देखिने अपोजिटनेसलाई कम्प्लिमेन्टारिटी भनिन्छ। वेयर द डिनायल अफ वान, जहाँ चाहिँ एउटाको चाहिँ डिनायल हुँदाखेरि अर्काको के हुन्छ त एसर्सन हुन्छ। एउटामा नहुँदा अर्कोको गुण देखिन्छ। अफ द अदर एन्ड द एसर्सन्स अफ वान इम्प्लाइज द डिनायल अफ अदर। एउटाको डिनायल हुँदाखेरि अर्कोको एसर्सन हुन्छ, अर्कोमा एसर्सन हुन्छ, अर्कोमा एसर्सन अर्कोमा डिनायल हुन्छ। जस्तै फर इक्जाम्पल इट डजन्ट सो एनी कन्ट्राडिक्सन, यसो कन्ट्राडिक्सन हुँदैन। फेरि फर इक्जाम्पल मेल, मेल भनेको मेलै हुन्छ अनि फिमेल हुन्छ। कि त्यो मान्छे मेल हुनुपर्छ कि त्यो मान्छे के हुनुपर्छ, फिमेल हुनुपर्छ। किनभने यदि चाहिँ तपाईँको दिवस मेल हो भने त्यो के होइन त, त्यो फिमेल होइन। भनेपछि दिवसमा के छ एसर्सन, मेल छ। अब दिवसमा के छैन, के डिनायल भएको छ, फिमेल डिनायल भएको छ, त्यो छैन। प्रतीक्षामा फिमेल छ तर मेल छैन। फिमेल प्रतीक्षाको एसर्सन हो तर मेल उसको डिनायल हो। त्यस्तो खालको रिलेसनसिप सबै पाइने यस्तो किसिमको पेयर्स अफ वर्ड्समा मात्रै पाइन्छ। सबै वर्ड्समा त्यस्तो पेयर वर्ड्स हुँदैन। We can find very limited number of pair words and we can show this example. Married, unmarried. यदि दिवस म्यारिड छ भने दिवस के होइन, अनम्यारिड होइन। यदि दिवस चाहिँ अनम्यारिड हो भने ऊ के होइन, म्यारिड होइन। म्यारिड भयो भने त्यसको एसर्सन हुन्छ एकातिरकोमा, अनम्यारिडमा के हुन्छ, डिनायल हुन्छ। दिवस अलाइभ छ, जीवित छ भने ऊ मरेको छैन। अलाइभ जिउँदो एसर्सन, डेट उसको चाहिँ डिनायल। सो कम्प्लिमेन्टरिटी इज द सेन्स रिलेसनशिप बिट्विन words or the lexims which meanings are mutually exclusive. अब याद गर्नुहोस्, यो शब्द म्युचुअली एक्सक्लुसिभ भन्ने शब्दलाई ध्यान दिएर टिक क्वेसनमा, अब्जेक्टिभ क्वेसनमा चाहिँ याद गर्नुहोस्। ट्रुथ अफ वान, एउटाको सत्यको कुरा अर्कोमा चाहिँ त्यो फल्सिटी हुन सक्छ। एउटै मान्छे म्यारिड र एउटै मान्छे अनम्यारिड बन्न सक्दैन। एउटै मान्छे मेल र एउटै मान्छे फिमेल बन्न सक्दैन। हुन त थर्ड सेक्सको कुरा पनि आएको छ, त्यो कुरा चाहिँ यहाँ लागू हुँदैन। अ पर्सन हु इज अलाइभ नट डेड, फर इक्जाम्पल हेर्नुहोस् त, एउटा मान्छे जीवित छ भने त्यो मान्छेलाई कसरी मरेको भन्न सक्छौँ। एउटामा एसर्सन छ अर्कोमा डिनायल हुन्छ। किन दुवै कुरा, एउटा मान्छे बाँच्ने त्यही मान्छे मर्ने, बाँच्ने मर्ने दुवै हुन सक्दैन। त्यस्तै किसिमको शब्दहरूको सम्बन्ध यहाँ देखाउँछ। कुरा बुझ्नु भएको छ? हेलो, कुरा बुझ्नु भएको छ छैन? हजुर नमस्ते भन्नुहोस् त, के छ हो खबर?
नमस्ते,
बुझ्नु भएको छ होइन? ओके, ठिक छ। फाइनल्ली अब हामी लास्टमा आज थियो कन्भर्सनेस। इट इज द सेन्स रिलेसनशिप बिट्विन टु वर्ड्स इन विच वान्स प्रेजेन्स, एउटाको प्रेजेन्स। माथिल्लोमा चाहिँ डिनायल र एसर्सन थियो, याद गर्नुहोस् है, फोकस गर्ने शब्द चाहिँ थियो। कम्प्लिमेन्टारिटीमा डिनायल अफ वान्स इम्प्लाइज द एसर्सन अफ एनदर भनेको थियो भने यसमा चाहिँ के भन्छ, प्रेजेन्स, वान्स प्रेजेन्स इम्प्लाइज द एब्सेन्स अफ एनदर वान। So here one does not, here one does one thing. एउटाले एउटा काम गर्छ, अर्काले अर्को काम गर्छ, तर एउटाले दुईटै काम गर्न सक्दैन क्या, बुझ्नुहुन्छ नि? जस्तै बाई गर्छ, बाई गर्नेले बाई गर्यो, सेल गर्नेले सेल गर्यो। त्यही मान्छेले बाई गर्ने त्यही मान्छेले सेल गर्ने हुन सक्दैन। हेर्नुहोस् त कस्तो कुरा आएको छ। बाई सेल, किन्ने एउटा हुन्छ, बेच्ने अर्को हुन्छ। पुस तान्ने अनि पुल गर्ने, पुस र पुल हुँदै हुन सक्दैन। लेन्ड बरु, त्यो हुन सक्दैन। सापडी दिने माग्ने, कमान्ड सब, एउटाले कमान्ड गर्छ अर्कोले सब गर्छ। सेन्ड, एउटा सेन्ड गर्छ रिसिभ गर्छ, एउटा थ्रो गर्छ र क्याच गर्छ। कसरी गर्न सक्छ दिवसले थ्रो पनि गर्ने क्याच पनि कसरी गर्न सक्छ हैन? तिनीहरूले once presence implies the absence of another. यति कुरा बुझ्नु पर्यो तपाईहरुले। यसमा माथिल्लोमा के बुझ्नु पर्यो, denial of one's implies the absence of another, and absence of one's implies the denial of another's. यसमा फेरि presence र absence को कुरा आउँछ। एउटा काम गर्दाखेरि डजको कुरा आउँछ यसमा। माथिल्लोमा क्वालिटीको कुराहरू आयो, तल्लोमा चाहिँ एक्सनको कुराहरू देखिन्छ मेरो बुझाइमा है। यसरी जानु पर्यो है। ओके स्टुडेन्ट्स, टुडे वी विल डु दिस मच। आज हामी यति गर्छौँ हैन। इफ यु हेभ एनी अदर क्वेरिज, तपाईसँग केही त्यस्तो जिज्ञासा छ भने तपाईहरुले राख्न सक्नुहुन्छ। ठीक छ? ओके। पुरो बुझेन ल भन्नु त?
बुझेम सर।
बुझ्यो?
बुझ्यो सर।
कस्तो मजा लाग्यो है? हो? अब अरु के?
पहिलेबाट यसरी पढ्न पाएको
हजुर हजुर
अनलाइनमै ठीक हुन्छ सर।
हुन त गरे टाइम हुन पर्यो हैन?
अनलाइन अहिले एक्जाम सरेर त हजुरले अब आइगयो नि।
एक्जाम सरेको भए त क्याम्पसमै ठीक होला नि, यसरी अनलाइनमा भन्दा त।
अनलाइन हैन क्याम्पसमा
तपाईलाई दिन भ्याउँदैन नि त फेरि हैन?
सर अनलाइनमै पढाउनु।
ठीक छ, अब मैले तपाईलाई सहयोग गरेको हो नि त हैन?
सर अलि दिन पढ्न पाउने यो एक्जाम सरेर।
हजुर